Hi, Allison Hayes here. Now, if you've been a long-time visitor to these parts, you know that Trailers from Hell's original intention was to showcase trailers from horror and sci-fi movies and skewer them a little. With love, of course. But eventually we ran out, and now it's pretty much a free-for-all. So you can imagine my shock when I discovered that one of the absolute towering achievements in crappy sci-fi trailers from an even crappier sci-fi movie has somehow been overlooked. Even watching it on TV as a kid, I knew that the brain from planet AROUS was the Citizen Kane of giant floating brain with eyes from outer space movies. Make that brains, since there were two of them, one of them a cop. Don't ask. But what really makes this trailer incomparably loony is that except for one brief shot at the outset, they never show the brains. What did they think they were hiding? This isn't them, it's right there in the title. Maybe they just didn't want to show how crummy the special effects were. Again, even as a kid, I could tell which shots were a double exposure and which featured an actual balloon gussied up to look like a giant floating brain with eyes. But also, again, you won't see any of that here. But what you will see is plenty of John Agar, whose deranged performance is one for the ages. No brains were harmed in the making of this trailer. Or used, apparently. You gotta hand it to Agar. He knew this was a load of rubbish, but he commits to the role totally. Get ready, folks. Here's your one and only glimpse of the brain! Joyce Meadows lived long enough to see it become a cult classic, which she accepted with good humor. When told a lobby card was selling for $650, she replied, "That's more than the film cost."
It's true. I've discovered a power that the most feared man on earth.
This was Robert Fuller's first movie, by the way.
Circuit television set focused on the test areas.
You kind of get the feeling they cut this while the picture was still shooting, given how much of it comes from this one scene. And of course, no real explanation of why Agar is raving the way he does until the very end. Even the stuff shot inside everyone's favorite locale, Bronson Cave, isn't included here, though they made sure to make up for it by including plenty of stock footage. The film was directed by Oscar-winning art director turned very capable director Nathan Juran, but he was so embarrassed by it that he asked to be billed as Nathan Hertz, which was his middle name. He then followed it with the equally laughable Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. Now there's a double feature from hell. But then took a giant step up with the Seventh Voyage of Sinbad and never looked back. But for all its unspeakable ineptitude, this picture, like 50-Foot Woman, Robot Monster, and Plan 9, is so irredeemably goofy that you don't even need edibles to have a good time mocking it. Because, in the immortal words of Lorelei Gilmore, are we all not unrepentant mockers?